You move through the will of God. Nothing anymore you do is for your personal gain. Not even for happiness, not even for peace, not even for your own harmony. It's transcendent even of that. And all that remains is living in absolute humbleness and a servant of God, where this vehicle becomes the tool. However, the grace of God wants to move this so-called body, does so. Sometimes it makes no sense for the mind. It makes no logic. There is no particular logic in it, but it moves because it moves through God. Selfless. Yeah, this is selflessness. And this is the third grand cycle, and yet beyond cycle, because it is ever so direct and unmoving, and yet so alive and filled with divine beauty and divine love and divine light that all emanates through the source, God, or Satpurush itself. So then all these waves, yes, all of these waves, fluctuations of the world, mind, emotions, ego, even if they're there, even if they're in your present, through the eyes of divine, nothing really matters. Nothing really matters. So when we realize that this world is like a dream, this world is ever changing, and every time the world changes, we experience certain suffering. And that's when we can see, why is that so? We try to keep a certain stability, yes, a certain safety, a certain place within us or around us that is familiar, because we feel safe there. We feel secure with what we know already. Yes, but that within itself, it creates so many limitations, so many restrictions. But we are familiar with it. It's normal for us to be in a certain environment that is familiar to us. But yet, what I can encourage you is to not be afraid to change. Even if the world is changing around you, don't be afraid of that. Even if the internal world is crumbling, don't be afraid of that. Because that always brings newness. So I'm speaking here globally and internal world. It's the same thing. Okay? In reality, there is no inside world or outside world. It is one world. You are the world, and you are much more than the world. Okay, so the world is you, what you feel and sense and see and experience and perceive. It's all coming from you. Because the world is relative. Everyone has a different angle how to look at the world. Even in meditation, we sit down, we meditate all together. Everyone has a different experience. No experience is the same because you all have a different nervous system. The way you perceive and translate even light, which comes from the same source, is experienced different because your nervous system is unique. So you are unique at the same time, and you translate the information in a very unique way. And also adding with that, it's what you perceive. What is perceived, what is seen. Okay, so when the world changes, don't be afraid of that. Allow it to change. Allow it to change in any way it wants to change, because that will bring a new opportunity for newness, for a different way of being, for adapting or aligning in a different way, or moving in a different way. Even also, you may experiment a bit with different perceptions. Something is a bit challenging in your life right now. How about you withdraw for a moment? Yeah, you unplug yourself from that challenging situation you are in right now. Unplug, zoom out. Yeah, zoom out and experiment. How about then, when you zoom out, you perceive it from a different point of view? Yeah, so this is what happens when you open your consciousness. You begin to perceive reality from a different point of view. It's not a point, but so to speak, you begin to perceive reality from a wider or higher angle. So this is why reaching the highest of highs and transcending all worldly, ever-changing waves, to be able to see right through it all. You see through all the changes. Yeah, you see through all the fluctuations of mind, energy, emotion. And furthermore, further deeper comes this surrendering to a bigger love. Yeah, surrendering supports this transcending of the ego I, which mainly is what gives us the problems, what gives us the challenge in life, the ego I, or the person, or the identity that we hold of me.